Death of the Unicorn is written and directed by Alex Scharfman in his directorial debut, and this is a comedy horror from A24, and this film stars Paul Rudd, Jenna Ortega, Téa Leoni, Poulter, and Richard E. Grant. The film follows Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega as father and daughter accidentally killed a baby unicorn, and it's not till they're getting hunted down by the baby's parents. Now, going to this film, I watched this online, didn't get a chance to see it in cinema, so this is kind of like a late review. And from what I've seen from the trailers, it does look actually quite interesting, because I do like the cast. When you see these, it's one of those films, if you ever go to a movie, it has this great set of actors in this film. You're thinking to yourself like, you know what, I want to see this because I like the cast in it, because I do like the actors in it for what they're given. And the moment you watch it, you're kind of thinking, is this film going to be good, or is it going to be absolute terrible? And what you get is, I don't hate this film, but I didn't love it either. I found this film to be very disappointing. There might be some people out there who will do enjoy this film. That's completely fine, because this is my review, guys. This is just my personal opinion. If you guys out there do enjoy this film or do have fun with it, that's completely fine. I've got nothing against that. But my overall opinion, I was expecting so much more from it. I was expecting so much more. I'll start with the positives. The directing here from Alex Scharfman is actually pretty solid. It was pretty decent. It's well directed. There are certain shots and cinematography-wise, even though it is very light and bright, colourful to it, but I do like it's more of a campy comedy horror film, which I do admire its campy horrorness. And as far as the acting, I think everyone did their best, but the one best standout for me, it has to be Poulter's character. I think he's one of the actors that I really, really liked. I think he's really likable, funny. His comedic timing there is actually really, really good. He has his moments, and he does give me some laughs, and he's having the most hammered up time. He's hammering it up in his review, in his movie. You can tell he's hammering it up. But as far as everything else about the film, I do think there are some creative kills. The kills in here are pretty decent and solid enough. You know, you get what you get. As far as everything else, not so much. I found this film to be very half-shallow for the most part. It's just very half-shallow, very empty, and it just doesn't really have that same half emotion. But there are some entertaining scenes here and there, but the emotional half of it is kind of missing. Kind of like it's missing ingredient for this movie, because Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega, you know, both actors I do like. They're both likable. They're very charming in their performances, but the characters, though, as their main leads, they're not that interesting. They're very, very boring. They don't have much character or depth. Yes, you do get their moments here and there, but most of them are just bickering one another. Paul Rudd's character is basically a father who's just more focused on his work than focused on her. She's trying to be reasonable with him, and then he doesn't give a fuck. But that's basically their characters. But I don't know, there's nothing there to most of it. But when you get to the emotional climax of the film, it's supposed to have emotional weight to it, but the moment that scene happened, I didn't really care for these characters. I don't feel nothing. I feel nothing. I just felt like, yeah, they're great actors, but their characters are nothing underneath its surface. And even the other cast and all these other characters, you know, Téa Leoni was actually pretty good, and Richard E. Grant is solid, and you do got these good actors. They're all trying their best in the script they're given, but some of their characters they make, especially Will Poulter's one, even though Will Poulter's, he's basically the best part of the film, but most of his characters are just make some dumb excuse and stupid decisions throughout the entire movie, because there's so many scenes, it's so many predictable moments, there's so many questionable scenes that make you go, okay, I know where this is going, I know who's going to die, and you watch one of this character or something, and you kind of go, why'd you do that? That's stupid, don't do that. I don't want to sound mean, I know that it's the actors, I'm mostly blaming on the writing, because the writing here doesn't justify the story they're telling. And it's so much exposition heavy throughout this entire first act of the film about these unicorns. And when we get into the mystery and the mythos about them, but you don't really dive in as much with the execution of the story, because you do see a little potential in there, but the execution of it, just doesn't work. And it takes a long, long time to get to the unicorn stuff. Like halfway through the second act of the film, when it does kick in, you go, okay, finally we get some unicorns. As far as the unicorns, yeah, they're cool, they're scary, I will admit, they're terrifying, but that's all they are. They're not really that interesting, because the CGI is Now, I don't mind CGI if it's done well. If you have a right mixture of practical and CGI, there are maybe parts it's practical, but most of everything else, 95% of the film is completely CGI. And you can tell the way it looks in the CGI, you can tell it's very noticeable at certain shots and certain scenes. And the blood kills are there, but most of them are CGI for the most part, and some of them are very questionable in certain scenes, which does give me a little bit of eyesore kicking in. But, you know, as a movie, you can look at this as just a dumb, guilty pleasure film. Now, you can sit and watch it, have fun with it. You can like it, have fun. That's completely fine. If you're just there to watch the unicorns do their thing, if you want to see these actors just do their thing, you get what you get. It's a film that you can sit and watch, but above all, there's nothing else to this movie. It's just a very lifeless, dull, not much underneath its surface. That's all it is. There's nothing much else. As far as the editing goes, there's certain scenes that did drag, especially the first act, because it takes long to build up to the unicorns, because there's so many scenes that drags out. I feel like, can we get to the unicorns? I was tapping my feet doing this, waiting until something happens. When we get to the ending, which I had to say this, guys, the ending was questionable. I found the ending I did not like, because the way this film ended, if you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. It's very, very questionable. And I didn't really like it. It was just, the way it ended, it just ended. I thought, is that it? There's nothing else? Like I said, Death of the Unicorn is not a bad movie. It's not terrible. You can sit and watch it, have a good time, but it's definitely not a great film. If you want to watch it, by all means, but if you're rather wait till it comes out on streaming or digital or rental or something, you know, you can just watch it from home. Don't even bother watching cinemas. There's no rush. I watched it online, so I didn't really rush to see it, but I was kind of curious to watch it, but after watching it, I was disappointed. Like I said, it's not a bad movie. It's not terrible. I've seen worse films than this, but yeah, it's not saying much. I'm going to give Death of the Unicorn a solid C. Guys, comment down below and tell me, have you seen Death of the Unicorn? Do you love it? Do you like it? Do you think it's alright? Or do you actually hate it? Whatever the case is, comment down below and tell me what you think. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Until next time, see ya.